right, Axel, you ready?
I got it.
Here we go. Hello, people. Hello, people here in the studio. We're going to start with our feet hip width, all 10 toes facing forward. I'm starting with my socks on. It's chilly in here. All right. So just take a peek down. Make sure your feet are hip width and facing forward, Larry. Straight ahead. Hip bones. First two toes right underneath. All right. Softness in the knees. Let's roll the shoulders up for the ears and back and down. And let's just breathe through a couple of shoulder circles. And we're drawing the abs in and up, even as we breathe. Scoop in the belly. Let's go the other way. Just do 3. And we'll do some standing roll downs. So we'll inhale first. On the exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Scoop the belly. And we will start to roll down one vertebra at a time. Nice and gentle. Fingertips touch the mat. Inhale at the bottom. Nice big inhale. Exhale, start to round it up. Feel those glutes already starting to engage as you lift back up and you restack the spine. Imagine one vertebra stacks right on top of the other until at the very last minute the head floats up over the shoulders. We'll do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. We scoop. So the scooping of the belly is really as if there's this great big ball in front of you and you're rounding over that ball. Arms and head are nice and heavy. Inhale. Exhale up. Pressing those shoulders down away from the ears. Let's do 1 more. We'll stay at the bottom. Inhale first. Fill up the air. Exhale, chin to chest. Let's bend the knees even more, placing the palms on the mat. Inhale. Exhale and straighten the legs. Inhale. And straighten. We'll do 2 more. Start to warm up the back of the thighs. Let's roll up this time. Inhale first to bend. Exhale, roll it up. Pressing shoulders down, away from ears, head floats up. Hands come immediately to the shoulders. We'll do the shoulder circles. We inhale as we come up and exhale back. We'll do 4 in each direction. And we'll go the other way. And we'll bring the arms down. We're a little crackly today. Let's bring the feet a little bit wider for some lateral stretches. We're going to bring one arm straight up, right next to the ear. Nice straight arm. Reach up and over. And we're not rotating, but we're going to pulse 3 times. 3 and 2. You can reach down with the other hand. 1. Bring it back up. Reach the other arm up next to the ear. Inhale. Up and over. 3. And we're reaching the fingertip up for this to the ceiling. 1 and back. We reach up and over. So stretching those fingertips. 3 and 2 and 1. Last one here. Reach up. And 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful. Let's do our hip circles. We'll place hands on hips. We'll go wider. Maybe turn out. I'm going to turn for this one. Okay, we're going to press 4, circle around. And we'll do 4 in this direction. And make sure we're breathing. 1 over each circle. I'm going the other way. already a little bit warmer. Anyone a little bit warmer? Not yet. And 4. Come on back. Did I want to do? Oh, I know what I want to do. Yeah. All right. So one more. We're going to come wide with second position. As it turned out, we're going to bend the knees. So really important here. Couple things that you want to have a wide enough stance that the knee is not way over the toes. That's number one. And number 2 is these knees tend to want to roll in. So you want to think about pressing the knees back so that they're right over the first 2 toes. So it's sort of this constant pressing back. Draw the abs in and up. So for this one, the pelvis is going straight down. So unlike a sumo where we push the pelvis back, we're not doing that. We're going straight down. Okay, I'm going to place the hands behind the head. And we're going to do a lateral oblique exercise. Just over. And over. So we're not rotating. Again, we're going straight to one side. Keep pressing those knees back. Waking up those obliques. Finding our balance. Let's do one more each side. And last one here. Beautiful. All right. Bring it back up and walk in. And we will come to the front of the mat. Take my socks off. Finally, a little warmer. Okay, we'll come to the front of the mat. Take a breath. We're going to stack the forearms. We're going to press the top forearm into the bottom and the bottom forearm into the top. So got a little pressure there. We reach up for our tallest posture through the crown of our head. We're going to step 1 foot back. So you can step that with your toe tucked or the top of the foot on the mat, whatever feels more comfortable. We inhale first. On the exhale, crown of the head reaches up. We start to come down to the knee. Come down to the knee. And then lower it all the way down. From here, we'll place the hands behind the thighs. We'll come all the way down to the mat for hundreds. All different leg positions for hundreds. Level 1 is knees bent, feet flat. You can stay here. Second, level 2 is tabletop legs. Level 3 is straight to the ceiling. Choose which one you like, or maybe I'm going to do all of them. Actually, I'm going to do tabletop and straight to ceiling and maybe 45. We're going to start. Here's the setup. We place the hands facing forward, palms forward, and arms to ceiling. Take a nice inhale to start. On the exhale, chin comes to chest. We lift the head, neck, and shoulders just so the tips of the shoulder blades are on the mat. And we have our hands at hip level. All right, so through this entire exercise, you're going to look through your thighs at the wall in front of you. Okay, so you don't look at the ceiling. Too much stress on the neck. All right, we're going to pump the arms. Here we go. I still have my knees bent, feet flat. I'm going to start here. Inhale, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Shh, shh, shh. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring everything in, knees to chest, head down. We're going to do some half roll downs, but we're going to transition up with a roll up. So either knees bent with heels digging into the mat, or legs straight, feet flexed, whichever you like better. Arms come to the ceiling. We're going to inhale with the arms to the ceiling. On the exhale, we let the ribs melt down. And then we inhale as the arms come back up, chin to chest, and we roll up. We're reaching the fingertips forward. We're rounding forward and low. Nice and low. Nice, Larry. Larry, look down at your knees. Look down, look down. Reach the fingertips long. Energy out the heels. And then round it up and stack the spine. We're going to sit up tall on the sit bones. We're going to bend the knees, feet flat, and we're going to do some half roll downs. So we start with a nice straight spine, sitting up as tall as we can. When you think you're as tall as you can, grow taller. Inhale. On the exhale, start to round the lower back. Come down only so that the sacrum, that triangle bone, is flat on the mat. For me, it's right about here. It's as far as I'm going. Right? Scoop the belly. We're going to lift the right leg and lower down and the left. Make sure the shoulders are down away from the ears. I just pulled mine down. They tend to come up. All right, hold it here. Inhale here. Exhale, let's round it up. I'm staying nice and low. I'm scooping out the belly. And then at the last minute, I'm going to stack the spine. Sit up. We're going to go a little lower. Inhale. Exhale, we start to round down. Reach the fingertips. So as your low back is pressing back and you're rounding down, you're reaching forward as if you're trying to grab something in front of you. Come down so your low back is on the mat. Okay, my low back's on the mat now. We lift the right leg using the powerhouse, using those transverse abdominis. Try not to use the hip flexors to do this. You should feel your abs on fire. Inhale. Exhale, round up. Round forward. Round forward. Crown of the head toward the knees. At the very last minute, stack the spine. Take a nice inhale. We'll break. We're going a little bit lower this time. Inhale. Exhale, round the spine. Squeeze the knees together too. I want you to squeeze the knees together. It's going to help because that's part of your powerhouse is your inner thighs. Squeeze the inner thighs as you come down to the mid back. So for ladies, that's our bra strap just about. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to lift the right leg and lower. I'm going to lift the left and the right. Oh, you're pressing belly button into spine and the left. Now squeeze the inner thighs together. Squeeze them, round forward. Round, low. Pam, get low, get low, get low, get low. Really low. Press those back ribs back as you reach the fingertips forward. And then stack the spine. Do you guys feel those?
Yeah.
Oh, man, my abs are on fire. Okay, we're going to go all the way down. We're going to do some roll-ups. You can stay with knees bent. When we get to the bottom, you can straighten your legs if you like that. All right, here we go. Inhale. Exhale, round out. You can always use the hands behind the thighs if you need them. Now, one vertebra at a time, right? This is slow and controlled. Bring the arms to the ceiling. So the knees can stay bent as long as the heels are pressing into the mat, or you can straighten the legs. Just don't lock the knees. Inhale with the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, let the arms come back to the ears and melt the ribs down. Inhale, arms come up, chin to chest. We start to round. I'm trying to keep my arms right next to my ears. I'm reaching out through my heels and my fingertips and pressing the belly button back. And it's okay to come lower as long as you're not hinging at the hip. Nice lift. Keep that crown of the head reaching down toward the knees. And now we're going to go right back down. So we start to articulate. And I'm going to bend my knees just a little so I can really squeeze my inner thighs. Squeeze those inner thighs are going to help. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale when the arms come to the ceiling, the head is down. Exhale, melt the ribs down. Inhale, arms come up. Squeeze those inner thighs, chin to chest. Let's go. Reach forward. Reach. Reach. Nice, Larry. Again, think crown of the head toward the knees. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to bring my crown of my head as close to my knees as I can. I'm going to take a breath and then round back down. We're going to do one more. Squeeze the inner thighs. Even if your legs are straight, squeeze them. Nice and slow and controlled. Nice. Nice work, you guys. Last time. Arms to ceiling. Inhale first. Now exhale and melt the ribs down. Inhale, arms up. And we round. Forward and low. Low, Pam. Get low. Get low, Pam. Yes. Round forward. Round. As if there's a big ball. You're rolling over this big ball. And then we're going to stack the spine and sit up tall. Beautiful job. Bend the knees. Squeeze the inner thighs and the knees. We're going to do some Russian twists. Let's bring the hands in. Just lace them here. We're going to come down about a third or halfway, whatever feels comfortable. We're going to rotate from the waist. I'm going to try to get my knuckles on the mat. Now, I could go farther, but then look what happens. My hips move, right? So I don't want to go that far. You only want to go so far as that your waist is doing the rotation. So that could mean you don't quite get there. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Everybody's flexibility is a little different. You might be able to come a little lower, right? Maybe lower. Then your knuckles can come down. You could lift one leg toward the side you're rotating. You could lift both legs. You really have to keep the pelvis stable if you lift both. Nice, that's good. Couple more. And then come back to center. And let's bring the legs down. And let's roll all the way down. Let's do some single leg circles to warm up the hips. Flex the foot of the left leg. It's straight and pressing into the mat. And let's scissor the right leg up to the ceiling with a pointed toe. So for this single leg circle, we are going to lift the glute, or at least pretend we're lifting the glute off the mat. The arms are long on your sides. You're pressing them into the mat. So triceps are working hard. We lift the glute, we cross over the midline, and we make a circle on the ceiling as we come back to 90. Lift the glute first, cross, down, exhale, up. Lift, cross, and around. And one more. Stability of the pelvis as you let that leg move around. Let's go the other way. We lift the glutes, we reach out, down, press those triceps into the mat, reach up, out, exhale around, two more, up, out, exhale, and reach up, out. Everything is working here. Flex that foot, lower it all the way down, press it down into the mat, point the toes of the left, scissor it up. Sacrum is long on the mat, it's reaching away, crown of the head is reaching for the wall behind you. Lift the glutes, cross the midline, around, and up. Lift, cross, around. Two more. Shh. Don't forget to breathe. And lift, cross, around. We go the other way. We lift up. We go out. So you decide how big that circle is based on the stability you can control with your pelvis. And last one. And flex the foot and bring it all the way down. And let's bend the knees, feet flat. And let's go right into some bridges. So the feet are parallel. They are in line with the sit bones. Arms are still long on your sides. We inhale to prepare. On the exhale, tuck the tail so you imprint the spine and then lift the hips off the mat. Kneecaps reaching forward, heels pulling in toward the hips. Everything is engaged. Ribs are buttoned up. You're not flaring out. Let's lower and lift for 8. So we lower, we kiss the mat, we exhale. We lower and press, and lower and squeeze, and lower and squeeze. 4 more. And I'm pressing the backs of my hands and arms into the mat. Last one, hold this one up. We'll pulse now. 8, squeeze 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This is a great way to wake up those glutes. 1, hold it up at the top. We're going to slide the right leg long on the mat. And we're going to lift it up to the ceiling. Scissor it up. Flex the foot, lower, point, and lift. Flex, lower, point, and lift. Don't let those hips drop. Lower, point. Keep pressing into the backs of the arms. And point. Lift 2 more. Lower, point, and flex, lower, point, and lift. Beautiful. Circles, single leg circles from the bridge. Here we go. The glutes already lifted. We're going to cross over the midline. Smaller circle on the ceiling. Come around and back. Stability is more important than anything. Circle and back. Cross over, down, around. Last one. Cross, down, other way. We circle it out, down, cross the midline, and 90. Out. We take our time with these. And 2 more. And play around with how big your circle is. Beautiful. Flex the foot. Point the toe. Bring it all the way down to tap the mat. Slide it in. Woo. Inhale here at the top. Exhale, let's lower down just for a second. Just for a breath. Let that left glute take a breath. We will inhale at the bottom. We got to do the other side. Exhale. Imprint the spine. Lift the hips. Kneecaps reach forward. Heels come toward the hips. Here we are. Let us slide the left leg out. Long on the mat. Lift it up to the ceiling. We're pressing that supporting leg into the mat. We're going to flex a foot, lower, point, and lift. And flex, lower, point, and lift. Flex, lower, point, and lift. Flex, lower, point. We got 2 more. Flex, point. Last one. Flex, lower, point, and lift. Those hips up nice and high. We've got the circles. We cross the midline, around and up, and cross, down, around. 2 more, cross, down, around, and last one, cross, down. Hold it here. Other way. We go out, down, and cross. Reach it out. Make sure you breathe. And out. How's that right glute doing? Whew, mine's on fire. Flex the foot, point the toe, lower it all the way down, slide it in, lift the hips up a little higher, inhale, exhale, lower everything down, and bring the knees into the chest. Give it a rock and a stir. Yes, indeed. We will then place the hands behind the thighs. We'll rock it up to sitting. And we are going to do the series 5. But let's do rolling like a ball first, just to massage the spine. Let's come a little forward on the mat. Do you guys feel those? Yes. They're very sore. Okay, so we will do rolling like a ball. Let's start sitting up tall with our knees bent. And we're going to start to round down, maybe just a third of the way, just to get that nice C curve. Then we're going to lift the right leg and lift the left leg. And here we are. So now I'm going to bring my heels in toward the glutes. All right, so we want to stay with this nice, rounded, but elongated spine. What can tend to happen is we get all crunched up, right? We don't want to be crunched up. We want to keep reaching out through the crown of the head, pressing the back ribs back. All right, so we're nice and rounded, but we're nice and elongated. So yeah, keep those. That was Kristen. I love the way you brought those shoulders down away from your ears. Beautiful. Look down into your navel. Try to keep those heels. This is where I always go wrong. Try to keep the heels as close to the sit bones as possible. Abs are in. Squeeze the inner thighs. That's going to help. Here we go. Inhale back. Exhale up. Squeeze the inner thighs. That's part of the powerhouse. Inhale back. Exhale up. 2 more. Here we go. Keep those heels. So when your heels are at the ceiling, think close to the sit bones. Okay, here we go. And maybe 1 more, or hold. Beautiful. Hold the balance. From here, we straighten the left leg. We transition down to our series 5. So I'm going to place the left hand on the inside of the knee, right hand on the ankle. And I'm going to hold on tight and lower myself down. Using that left leg as a little balance, counterbalance point, looking straight through the thighs at the wall in front of me. So here it is again, really important that the torso stays lifted, that you don't look up at the ceiling. This is going to be so much stress on your neck. So we want to look forward and we want to pull this knee as far into the chest as we can. Sacrum is reaching for the wall in front of you. Crown of the head is reaching for the ceiling. We switch legs, pull it in, and switch, and pull, and switch, and pull, and switch, pull, and switch, and pull. Hold it here, and hold. Bring both knees in. We're going to do 5 double leg stretch. Keep reaching the crown of the head up, up, up. Yes, beautiful. Reach everything up. Think up and in. Inhale, reach up. You guys are beautiful. And in. Reach up for your knee. Look at your thighs. And in. Don't look at the ceiling. And reach up. And in. And 2 more. Reach. And in. And last one. Reach up. We're going to keep going now. Bring those legs to the ceiling. Reach up the torso a little higher. We're going to put the hands behind the right leg. We pulse, pulse, and switch. Pulse, pulse. Keep reaching that torso. This is still an ab exercise. Pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse. We're breathing. We're getting a little hamstring stretch, but we're working our abs. Last one here. Bring the legs both to the ceiling. Place the hands behind the head. Now let the head rest in the hands. 3 down and 1 up. Here we go. Be lower. 3, 2, 1. Bring them up. Now, another little pro tip here. Maybe turn the legs out just a little. Heels together, toes apart, and squeeze the heels in the inner thighs. Here we go. 3, and 2, and 1, and up. Again, 3, and 2, and 1, and up. And 3, and 2, and 1. Squeeze it up. 1 more, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bend the knees, bring them in. Let's bring the head down, let it rock. Give it a break. Nice work. You guys are strong, so we just kind of stayed with all of those in one succession. We have 1 more. We have the crisscross, and I have several variations of the crisscross. So we are going to place the hands behind the head and shoulders lift, again, working through the thighs up the wall in front of us. Bring the legs out to tabletop. We're going to do a tap, an alternating toe tap. So the left toe is going to tap down as the left elbow comes to the right knee, like this. We rotate, right, and tap. And then we go the other way. So now I want you to keep going and think about looking down at the bottom elbow and reaching the top elbow for the ceiling. And breathe. And 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Come back to tabletop. Let's bring the right knee in, the left leg long. We're going to do our classical, traditional crisscross. So we rotate the torso toward the ceiling. We look down at the bottom elbow and we switch. Hold. Really pull that knee in. Stretch that right leg out and switch. Look down. Pull that knee in. Stretch that leg out and switch it back. We're doing these slow motion. And back. And back. And now we speed them up for 1 and switch. And 2. 3. 4. 5. The more you pull that leg in and look down, the more your obliques are going to engage. Let's do 1 more. Bring the knees in. You guys did it. Rock head, rock knees. Nice job. We place the hands behind the thighs. We rock up to sitting. Now we're going to go on to our all fours. We're going to do a little transition exercise. I'm going to pick my leg that's away from you. I'm going to cross it over. This is a transition, Liz.
Oh, I thought you said all fours.
We did. Well, that's where we're going.
We're getting there.
Yeah, and once we go to all fours, if you don't like the draw, I'm going to be facing that way, so I'll flip around, but just to show you what the transition. So in Pilates, in classical Pilates, the transition exercises are part of the whole workout. So you don't just go to the next position. You transition with a challenging exercise. So we cross over. We're going to take both hands and place them behind us. We're going to press into this supporting leg and come around into our plank. And there it is. There's your transition into prone. So from here, we're going to come to all fours. I'm going to do some all fours work, and I'm going to flip around to this side so I can see you better. So choose whatever side you like better. And we'll start with our cat-cow. So wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. On the inhale, we're going to tip the tailbone up and let the chest reach up and forward. Forehead to the ceiling. Exhale, round the spine. Belly button in. Shoulders come toward the hips. Inhale and arch. Open the chest. Reach it forward. Exhale and round. And 2 more. And last one. And round. And then come to neutral spine. We are going to reach the right fingertips out, the left toes back. Now all 5 toes are facing down. They're facing down the mat. Lift the leg just a little. Maybe look down. Make sure that they're not turning out, because that means your hip is turning out. Make sure all toes are facing down. And bring that toe back down to the mat. Point all the toes. And we're going to lift and lengthen. Here we go. So we lift and reach it out. And we tap. The abs are in. We have a very stable pelvis here. Our neck is long. We're looking right at the front of the mat, maybe down at your fingertips, but not down at your feet. Tap. And lift. And tap. 2 more. Lift. Tap. Last one. Hold. This one. And let's pulse. 8, 7. Now engage that glute. 6, 5, 4. Keep the hips square. 3, 2. And hold it here. 1. We're going out to the diagonal. Not very far. Maybe 3 or 4 inches. Because again, we want to keep those hips square. We're throwing ourselves off balance here. We're using some different core muscles. Come back to center, hold. One more time, we go out to the diagonal, challenging that stability. The glutes are working, my obliques are working. Come back to center, tap it down, slide it in, then tuck the toes. Let's sit back on the heels. We're going to give that supporting arm a little rest, the wrist to roll the elbow or roll. All right, other side. Back down. Tops of the feet on the mat. We'll slide the left arm out, the right toes back. Again, take a peek back at those toes, lift them off the mat, and get a sense of what that feels like with the hips square. Bring them back down, point the toe, and then look right at the top of your mat. We're going to lift and lengthen and tap. Lift and tap. Are your abs drawn in and up? Are your glutes working? And breathe. And tap. And lift. And tap. And lift. And tap. And lift. 2 more. And up. And hold this. Hold. And let's pulse. 8, 7, just a tiny pulse. And if you want to bring that left arm back down to the mat, if you need more stability, that's fine too. 2, hold it here. Now we go up to the side, keep those hips nice and square, and just a couple inches. Yep, and that hand can always touch down your right. Always okay. Touch that hand down the chest. Just the leg. Bring it back in. Maybe reach the arm up again. And we go back up again. Some days the balance just doesn't feel good. If that's the case, just tap that hand down. And bring it back to center. And tap them both down. Slide them in. Tuck the toes again. Sit back. So when we're sitting back again, when we're doing this, you know, we're stretching the feet, right? We're stretching the toes. So that's part of all that we're doing. Don't underestimate this beautiful stretch of the toes. And roll the wrists. Okay. From here, what are we doing time-wise? Oh, we're doing great. Let's do a little torso stretch for the shoulders. Mask back on. So we'll come back to all fours. Tops of the feet on the mat. Either arm, doesn't matter. We're gonna, the arm is gonna reach up, but it's really about the torso rotating. We're gonna rotate the torso. The arm just comes along for the ride. So think about the arm. Just rotate the torso and then come on back and thread it through. And bring the shoulder down to the mat just briefly. And we're gonna do that 3 more times. Reach it up, maybe go a ½ an inch more this time. And we thread. Inhale as you reach. On that extension, you want to inhale. Exhale as you come down. 1 more. Exhale down. This time, we'll stay. We'll bring the shoulder down. We'll bring the side of the face down. We will relax everything. The opposite arm can reach out in front if that feels good. Or you can sweep it around to your right hip. The left arm can come around to the right hip. This is just about getting a nice stretch through both shoulders. And just let everything relax. This is even nice on your neck. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up. We'll do the other side. Press it up. To all fours. Let's do the other side. We will reach the arm. Actually, don't worry about the arm. Just rotate the torso and thread it through. Inhale, rotate. And thread. And we rotate. A little bit more. And thread. Inhale, rotate. This time we'll exhale and stay at the bottom. And reach that opposite arm out in front or sweep it around to the opposite hip. And then let everything relax. back. Started. Press up to all fours. And now we transition to our prone, meaning face down on the mat. So here are the options. Wrist right under shoulders. Step the right foot back and the left foot back into your plank. Quads are engaged, glutes are engaged. From here, you can lower yourself all the way down in this position, or you can come to the knees and lower down. Now pitch the chest forward as you come down and settle into the mat at the bottom. I'm going to shift myself back a little bit, and I'm going to bring my hands right around where my ears are, bent elbows, tip of the nose on the mat for our swan. Legs can be hip width. They can be closer together if that feels more comfortable, whatever feels comfortable. Most important that we're lifting that belly button off the mat. We're pressing pubic bone down. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, bring the shoulder blades together. Before we do anything, just bring them down and back, and then press into the hands and start to press up. You should not feel any pain in your back. You should feel a nice stretch to the front of the hips. If you don't, go a little lower or bring the arms farther away from you. Again, we want to stretch the front of the hips, bring our shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale here, keep the chin tucked in a little bit, reach through the crown of the head. We'll inhale at the top, pull the mat toward us, we'll come back down. So play around with the hand positions here. Abs are in. Inhale first. Draw the shoulder blades down and back, and then press up. The abs are in. The crown of the head is reaching up for the ceiling, not the chin, just the crown of the head. Your turtle coming out of its shell. Opening the chest to the sun. Inhale here. Exhale, come back down. We'll do our neck roll on the next one. Inhale first. Exhale, press it up. Shoulders down and back, abs are in. Bring those shoulders down. Now we're going to look over the right shoulder. We're going to release the neck, chin to chest. Look over the left shoulder. And look straight ahead. We'll go the other way. Right shoulder. Look straight ahead. And then lower it all the way back down. Let's bend. The elbows are already bent. Let's bring them in nice and close to the ribs. The hands can be next to the armpits. We're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Leave the hands on the mat. So let's just lift. Yep, lift. We have a nice long neck here. Then we're going to lift the hands off the mat. Let them float right up. And then lower everything down. We press up again. We lift the hands off the mat, pull those elbows back. And we lower it down. Adding on here. We lift up. And then we float the hands up. Now this time the right arm reaches out and then pulls back in. And of course, then the left. And pull back in. And now both. Pull them back in. Lift the chest. Lower down. Let's try that one more time. We'll lead with the left this time. So first we lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Neck is long. Then we float the arms up. We reach the left arm up. We pull it in. Keep pressing down with the tops of the feet. Right arm out. Pull it in. Are the kneecaps lifted off the mat? Both come out. Bring them in. Lift the chest even higher. Lower it down. Take a breath. Bring both arms out in front. They can be a little diagonal if that feels more comfortable. Lift the head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. So there's a little tension on the hands.
So Pam, bring your hands down onto the mat. So you're kind of pressing into the hands here. What we're going to do is we're going to actually shift the weight to the left hand, and we're going to slide the left hand back to touch the thigh. You get a little side rotation here, like you're trying to look back at your feet. You won't be able to see them. And then slide it forward. And then put the weight in the other hand, slide it back, and look at your feet. And bring it back. We'll go one more time. Inhale first, and then exhale as you rotate. You can press through that supporting hand and back. Last one. And bring it back and lower down. And let's stack the hands and place the forehead on the hands. Okay, now we're going to work on opening up the front of the hip. So first, press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Lift those kneecaps up. So important that the legs stay straight here. It's really tempting to bend the knee or have a slight bend in the knee, which we don't want. So I'm going to press the top of the left foot down. That's my supporting leg. I'm going to lift the right leg off the mat. So as I lift it, so the thigh is off, the knee is off, the leg is straight, and that right hip is pressing down into the mat. Don't let it lift up. And let's pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up. Let's do circles for 5, small, tiny circles. 4, and 3, and 2. Other way. 5. Keep pressing that hip down. 3, 2. Do you feel this in the front of the hip? 1, and lower it down. So the front of the hip is getting a nice elongation, and the glute is working like crazy. Do you feel that? Okay, good. Let's do the other side. So press the supporting leg, your right leg down into the mat. Press the top of the feet down, and let's lift that left leg off the mat. And we pulse for 5, and 4, 3, and 2. 1, circle around for 5, and 4, and 3, 2. We go the other way. So we're working both stability of the hips and mobility as that leg moves in the hip socket. And 1, hold it up, press that hip down, lift the leg a little higher, and then lower it down. And let's just do some heel beats to finish. So we're going to lift both legs off the mat, and we're going to tap them together for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more steps, and 8, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 1. Hold them up. Bring heels together. Lower them down. Let's place the hands under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. We're going to press up through the cat-cow, rounded position. Start to round the spine. Tuck the toes. Reach fingertips forward. Hips are shifting back. We're going to bring the forehead down to the mat and then sweep the arms back to the heels and pull the heels in toward your center. And you should get a little more stretch through the low back. And then sweep the arms back out in front. Tops of the feet come down to the mat and just let everything relax down into that nice child's pose for 3 breaths. And then walk the hands in toward the knees. We will round up through the spine. Let's roll the shoulders back. 3, 2, and 1. We'll roll forward. And 2, and 1.
one. And we're gonna do a little side series, just a couple of exercises, nothing too major. So we're gonna come onto our forearm with our elbow right under the shoulder. We're pressing into the forearm, don't let it collapse. The bottom knee is bent and it is not in line with the hip, it's lower than the hip. So comfortable position. And we're gonna straighten the top leg. We're just gonna lift and lower. I'm gonna have my kickstand hand here, my abs are in, my hips are stacked and my shoulders are stacked. We're gonna lift and up. 7, 6. So I'm lifting up through the bottom waist as well. 4, and pressing into that forearm. 2, and 1. Tap it here, reach the arm long. Press a little bit more into that forearm, really lifting up. We're gonna reach over. As you reach over, lift up through the bottom waist and go back. That's it. And 7. This prepares us for the side plank when we do this in the side plank position. Let's do 2 more, then we're going to add the leg lift. 2, 1. All right, so on the next one we add the leg lift. We reach over. 8. And reach. Every time you reach over, the bottom waist is lifting. 1. Look straight ahead. 3. In my straight line. And 2. And 1. Lovely. Bring it down. All right, here's the challenge. We're going to do a side plank. There are many levels here. Put your weight on the inside edge of this top leg. Okay, everybody got, because we're going to lift up on that leg. We're going to lift the hips, pressing up. You can keep the kickstand hand here. Now, with this kickstand hand, you can see that my shoulders are not stacked, right? So that will be the next thing that we'll do. But before we do it, I'm going to extend this leg. You don't have to. You can stay here and lift up and stack up. If you want to go to that side plank, I say, keep your kickstand hand, bring that leg back, find your balance here, stack the hips, and then reach it up. Keep the neck long, reach the head, crown of the head away. Sacrum is going toward the front of the room, or that way for my feet. Crown of the head is reaching the other way. Too much, knee comes back down. And we bring it down. We press up. Transition exercise to the other side. I'm going where Liz. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to do a teaser to the other side. We're going to place the hands behind the hips, fingertips forward. Beautiful job. All right, here's our transition. We come down to the other forearm. And we set ourselves up. Elbow right under shoulder. Bottom leg, knee bent. And the knee is lower than the hip. Straighten that top leg. Stack the hips. Kickstand hand. Or you can place the hand on the hip. And we lift them over. 8. 7. Keep pressing into the forearm. Arm. 5. 4. 3. 2. Straight. 1. Hold it here. Reach the arm long. Reach it up. And up. And 7. And I'm going to say, look straight ahead. 6. I'm not going to look down. 5. 4. 3. Use those bottom waist muscles. 2. 1. Next one, we add the leg. Reach it out. And 1. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Okay, now we have our challenge. Dig the inside edge of that top foot into the mat. Lift the hips up first. We come to the plank. If you want to come all the way, bring the kickstand hand back. Bring that leg back. So this is where that bottom waist comes in handy when you reach over, right? And then you come back. And the jumping lift through the bottom waist. And a lift. Beautiful job, guys. Then up. I'm going to bring you down. You can do it from here too, right? Lift through the bottom waist. Lift. And that's enough of those. Play too much. We come up. We have to do the transition teaser so that we're even. Down. Teaser up. Let's do a mermaid. That's a nice stretch here toward the end of class. So place the hands on the ankle. And if everyone wants to put their legs, their ankles going this way, then we'll all be a beautiful union of stretching. Reach the arm up overhead. Just like in that first stretch when he was standing, the arm is right next to the ear. Inhale, reach up. And look over at the bottom. And then we come down to the mat on the forearm. And we reach long. And we come back. Hands are in. Up and over. And last time, because the natives are restless.
I'm so sorry, I have an appointment.
No worries, no worries. Come back to
So
center.
sorry.
Come back
Thank
to
you,
center.
Jayne.
You're welcome, Lord. Let's switch. So we're not uneven. Let's stand on the ankle. Reach the arm up. Hands are in. Reach over. Look straight ahead. And we come down. And press. And you guys did great today. And last one. And let's come to center. And this time, let's just bring both legs to a cross-legged position. We'll end sitting on the mat. How does that sound? All right, sit up tall. Knees. Tuck the chin back. Let's inhale. Bring the arms up. Place the palms together. And exhale, bring back down. Like that. Inhale up. Palms together. Maybe a little back extension. And down. And one last breath together. Inhale, reach them up. And palms together. Hands to heart center. Exhale. Happy Thursday. Veterans, thank you for your service. Have a wonderful holiday if it's a holiday for you. Enjoy it. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Jayne.
Okay.